This episode of the Naperville Moms Network is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor Edgewood Clinical Services, providing comprehensive counseling and mental health services.
Welcome back to the Naperville Moms Network. What fun would holiday traditions be without a little holiday stress to go along with them? As happy as this time of year is for many, some people struggle with finding balance or navigating family relationships and plans. How do you girls manage holiday stress around this time of year?
So, you guys are going to roll your eyes at me, but I feel like I'm a stress bunny 11 months out of the year, and for some reason, I'm good in December.
Really?
And I think it's a little part holiday magic and a little part organization. I'm a very organized person, so I have my lists and I check it twice. I know, who's getting what, and I keep everything even. But I love it. I love before I had kids, I lived in the city and I would go to Water Tower December 22nd, December 23rd, and just feel the buzz, and I loved it. And everyone thought I was crazy. There's people who shop in October so that they don't have to deal with any of that.
The crowds and the
I don't mind it. I don't mind I feel like I'm a part of something, and I just really enjoy it. I mean, now everything comes on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Toys R Us is closed, so me with the little kids, everything's coming to the house, so that alleviates some of the stress. Sure. I think I'm probably more stressed after the holidays, when everything's depressing and comes down and cold and everyone's sick, but December, I like it.
That's good for you.
Yeah. You're like, good for you.
I wish. And I think for me, over time, learning to be okay with some things not going as planned, because I think we want the holidays to be very special, enjoyable for the family. So I think as moms, we set ourselves up for wanting this to be perfect, and that with that comes a lot of stress. You want the perfect holiday pictures. You want the whole family to cooperate and them to look beautiful, and then to send them out on time. We talked about, buying your child the hottest toy, hard to find. There were times before where you could buy online, where I was in line at Toys R Us, middle of the night, or first thing waiting for them to open. So I think we add a lot of stress to knowing to pull back and taking those things out and not missing out on just enjoying. I just remember when my kids were younger, trying to set up the perfect table, making fancy meals. My kids could care the least. All they wanted was chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. So over time, I adapted and realized, why am I putting myself through that? When they're younger, all they want is baking cookies, making a mess, and just the simplest meal, and just finding the joy in it. And as they get older, now, you guys can vouch with me, you do have the time. The kids are busy. You don't get to spend as much time, so you have time to make those elaborate meals and decorate the house. So I think with every phase of your child, those holidays need to be different.
I love that you just said now you have time to make the elaborate meals, and I'm sitting here with two kids that don't even live at home, and I'm still not making those. That makes me... But I do think you have to take some things out.
You do.
And there is, we put these expectations on ourselves. The Christmas card, there was a time when people used to send the big letters about their family, and I'm like, oh wow, I can't even begin to do that. Even just the family pictures. And a couple of years ago, we actually had we were in the city, some stranger took a picture of us with my phone. I put it on Facebook and I said, this is your Christmas card. This is it, everyone. Get a good look at it. Because I thought, I'm not going to do that. That would stress me out. They're getting them and the mailing, getting the addresses for people.
I don't have any addresses.
All those. We also started a long time ago. One of the big stresses was always getting all the gifts. When my kids still were young, we wanted to get all the gifts were wrapped, and we would do it the night before on Christmas Eve. So we'd be so stressed. You're trying to enjoy this beautiful Christmas Eve moment, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, we got 15,000 gifts to wrap, and everything to do. And I remember being completely stressed. And one year we decided that if the gift did not come from mom and dad, it was not going to be wrapped. And we would just keep it out, and it would be like this big, toy palooza when they came down the stairs. And my kids loved that. And to this day, even the 22-year-old will say, well, don't wrap everything. Don't wrap everything. And we really did that not because we wanted to create this really great tradition, because we were tired. It's like, how are we going to just go to sleep on Christmas Eve? And, because they get up at the crack of dawn when they're little, they're up before the sun. So we took things off the plate.
I think that's really important. It's almost setting some boundaries for yourself, right? A couple of years ago, I decided I was not going to send out Christmas cards. I just don't enjoy the process of having to get the addresses, which I don't have anymore. And that being said, I love getting them, so, don't stop sending them to me. But
I will send you.
Well, thank you. I will give you my address later. But it's interesting for me to see, as a chiropractor, how many people come in that the stress is not necessarily self-induced, but it's family-induced. And it's, you have to do this because it's always been done this way, or you have to bring these 17 dishes, but you have twin 2-year-olds at home. And so I have a lot of conversations over the holidays of, set some appropriate boundaries. Maybe have the conversation like, hey, we just had a baby this year, and so chances are we're not going to be able to host, or we're going to do it a different way, or we're going to take off some of the stresses. And sometimes people get really upset by those changes. But I think it's important for us to empower ourselves to know we're making the decision to keep doing this, and if it doesn't work for us, we are allowed to change it. And if someone's upset by that, if I always wanted something to be done some way, and later in life my kids came to me and said, we are so overtaxed this year, like we can't do that, I can't imagine looking at them and going, well, you have to, because we always do this.
Or I'm going to be so sad if you don't.
Right.
Your decision is going to hurt my feelings.
Right.
Kind of thing.
So with every part of life, I think just finding the balance for yourself and what works for you and what doesn't. Why, we all need to be Erica during the holidays, right? Like, we should all be enjoying it, not, oh, then we got to do this, and then we got to do this, and we got to do this. And it becomes too much. So sometimes just saying no.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I think I enjoy doing those things, and I also lucked out with great in-laws. I mean, we, on Christmas morning, everybody comes over in their pajamas. That was my idea. And
Shocking.
It's a pajama party, and it's relaxed. I don't feel that pressure. My mom has hosted Christmas Day, my dad's family, for years, and it is huge. 3-4 meats, the pasta, the everything, desserts galore. And every time we tell her to pare back, I know that deep down there is so much enjoyment in the compliments she gets, and how delicious everything is, and how beautiful that table is set. And so for some people, that is, providing that for their family is that joy.
Right. If you can, and that's the key. Whatever you do, not getting stressed about it, and realizing that when your kids are young, they just want time with you. There's been times when you host the family dinner and everything is perfect, but then you feel at the end of the day that you just missed out. You're like, can I have wine? I didn't get time with the kids. So I think realizing that, it's more about the time with your kids, because as they get older, I can vouch, you don't have as much time.
For sure.
So enjoy and let there be chaos.
Yep, I know.
Let it go.
One of the things I love to do, especially in the busyness of the holidays, is making sure that I can't remember what channel it's on, but they have all the Christmas movies, and I get the list. I'm like, and we've got to do, the Elf and the Christmas Vacation and the Christmas Story, and I really, the kids kind of slow down and stop, and hey, this is on tonight. Let's watch this movie, and we really enjoy that, and that I think becomes a little escape from all the other things that go on around that time of year.
And I love that you all get around on that day that it's on, because when I was growing up, if you missed the Charlie Brown Christmas, then you missed it. You were going to go out and get it. You can't watch it on Netflix. And so I love the idea of scheduling when it's really on and making it kind of an event instead of, whenever we can get around to watching it. We did one year, because we felt overwhelmed with everything that we had to do. I actually made a list with the kids. We sat down. We said, if we can only do 10 things this month, what 10 things do you really want to do? And the things were just like what you were saying. They were not the big, elaborate things. They were well, I want to bake cookies, or I want to go to the city and just to see the people ice skating. Like, there was nothing big and elaborate. It had nothing to do with gifts. It had nothing to do with even decorations. It had to do with these tiny little holiday moments. But we all wanted to do them.
I like that
Yep.
idea.
Yep.
Really
That's nice.
asking them what is
Right.
more important to them.
What are your favorite parts?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And make sure
That's
those
neat.
get on the list of to-dos. And then everything else, you can, because then you have kind of a bar of what you can say, this isn't on our list.
Or not
And
important to
and
the
it's not
family.
important, and we don't
Yeah.
have time to do it. So
Yep.
we're going to just say no to Christmas cards were not on our list. They did not make it. So
Or
I will once
adapt,
again-
do it different. Like on Thanksgiving, I want to be able to spend time with the kids. So we do a lot of the prep the night before. So the next morning, everything is ready to go in the oven. And
Yeah,
then you
that's what I was
just,
gonna
so
Yeah.
kind of thinking out of the norm.
Post-it notes and what goes in the oven at different times, and
So you're not frantic that day.
No, I have
No.
everything. Yeah, almost everything is either pre-cooked.
To your point, Kathy, so you have the time with the kids.
Right.
You're able to
Yeah.
enjoy because those moments are, limited.
Yep. I started hosting Thanksgiving a couple of years ago, and I now am no longer allowed to do the turkey because I'm just not good at it. So I cooked
a good excuse.
this turkey, and I only have one oven, so I got this oven roaster, and I like scoured the internet for the best way to cook the size turkey I had. I got a nice turkey, and I just overcooked the crap out of it. It was so bad. And we're all eating it, and this one person that was there, I was like, I'm so sorry, it's so dry. And he was like, that's okay. We're used to dry turkey in our family, so
love
we
it.
don't know any difference. I'm
Okay.
like, all right, well, good. At least I'm, keeping your traditions. So I woke up the next day, literally went out and got another turkey. And I'm like, I'm going to make a good turkey. And so I'm like, I can't believe the turkey isn't coming up in temperature. I can't believe it. I had the thermometer on Celsius instead of Fahrenheit.
Oh, no.
So that one went in the garbage. So the next day, I made a relatively somewhat edible turkey. Still wasn't very good.
But now it's no longer, you're no longer hosting
No,
the
so yeah,
turkey
so
meals.
now I say no to that. Someone else can do the turkey.
I'm envisioning that Christmas vacation movie where the turkey is so dry that it like deflates
That's
in
one of
front
my
of
favorite
everybody.
I swear it was almost like that. Erica, Sarita, Patty, and I all wish you a joy-filled holiday with your loved ones and hope that you find the best ways to keep stress at bay. Thank you for watching the Naperville Moms Network, and remember, you're always invited. Thank you.